You can then choose a spreadsheet to look at. And I'm going to choose our events calendar. And then what it does is allows you to go into the Neo4j browser here and pull in that Google Spreadsheets data. Now, as it is a spreadsheet, it is in columnar, or table format. So you have columns and you have rows. What this does is really shows you, oftentimes when you're loading data into Neo4j, you actually start with a CSV format file, the world's lowest common denominator format, and you say load CSV with headers from this, and then you're going row by row. And then with each of those rows, you get to decide how to convert those rows into a graph format. So in this case here, I'm loading in data about events that Neo4j has. And so we can see here, this is a workshop in Milan called Graph Data Modeling with Neo4j. My colleague Alex created this with some long lats, etc. You then get to decide as you go through each of these rows, which of these things that you should create as nodes, what should you create as relationships. So in the case of something like this, it might be quite important, for instance, to keep track of all of our workshops that are in the EU separately. So we'll create one node that represents the EU. And each of the events that are in the EU would kind of point to that node and say event occurs in EU. Similarly, we might care about particular cities and locations, or we might care about languages here as separate nodes. And that really makes, or types actually would be a good one too. This is a training class. There are other things that are lecture style presentations, etc. And we might create these all as separate nodes. So we have an event node that represents each event, and those have relationships to what type of event they are, have relationships to where they're located in, who the speakers are, and things like that.